Spencer Pratt. The latest Emerson poll, Spencer Pratt at 35, Karen Bass at 33, with 16% undecided. And this is a poll of likely voters taken May 27th and 28th of likely Los Angeles voters. If Spencer Pratt hits 51%, he becomes the mayor and there's no runoff. So this is really amazing. And I'll tell you, because I know a lot of people are wondering, why are you spending so much time talking about the LA mayor's race? Because there's California, the front runner in the mayor's race is a Republican. Spencer Pratt's a Republican. He's running as an independent because it's a nonpartisan primary three-way race. Karen Bass, Spencer Pratt, and Ramen Noodles there. But he's a registered Republican. And a likely voter poll is the most scientific sample you can have when it comes to polling on elections. And so we've got a Republican as the front runner in Los Angeles, California. It's amazing. Los Angeles front runner is a registered Republican in the mayor's race against a Democrat, very liberal black woman. It's unheard of what's going on out there. Steve Hilton not only is in first place in the governor's primary, he's endorsed by the president. He's a Republican, of course, but Steve Hilton has always been in the lead. I can't remember him not being in first place. So, California, the reason this is important, LA and California as a whole, California, the Democrats, the left, have considered it a safe blue state for a long time. And make no mistake about it, it wasn't always that way. California gave us two great Republican presidents, Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon. And, and now it went blue. But now what's going on in California, you know what California is becoming? It's moving into toss-up territory. And then after it hits toss-up territory, it's going to be toss-up leaning right. Remember, there are more registered Republicans in California than in the state of Florida, where I'm at. And, once it becomes a toss-up battleground state, it's going to become a red state. Steve Hilton becomes governor, and if Spencer Pratt pulls this through and becomes mayor, if these two guys do half of what they promised to do, California will become a red state again. It really, and that's so important because of the number of electoral college votes. And for those that say it's impossible, the most MAGA state in America is the Sunshine State of Florida. But we were not always a Republican solid red state. Before President Trump came on the scene, in fact, even in Trump's first election when he defeated Hillary, Florida was considered a toss-up state. It was considered a toss-up state till President Trump won against Hillary Rodham Clinton. So, yeah, it's been a decade, but this is a solid red state now. And before that, we were a blue state. This was a blue state. It turned toss-up, and now it's the solid, most red MAGA state in America. And California is making its way there, too. And, Spencer Pratt, if he wins this election, even if it goes to runoff, if he doesn't hit 51% in the primary, they're going to try to, on the left, make it a defeat, but that's not the case. If it goes to runoff, he'll win. He may win next week, but if he doesn't hit 51 and he comes in first or second, but doesn't hit the 51, he'll go to the runoff and win. Okay, that is going to change America as we know it, especially moving into these midterms, because one of the many things that President Trump has done is he's changed the expectation of the American people of our elected officials. We expect results, and things are not going well. And there's a lot we're going to cover today. Now, I will remind you, today is Friday, and on Friday's program, it is open phones. All right, we call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind, okay? you're not limited to the topics that Steve and I bring up, okay? You don't even have to comment on the topics we bring up. On Friday, the show prep is up to you in the listening audience, all right? So our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you were listening. But I've got a few things that I'm going to share. I'm going to talk about Spencer Pratt and Karen Bass here. And then I came across something on Tallarico, which is sick and very twisted. I'm going to share it with you coming up. When I say sick and twisted, that is not hype. It may actually be an understatement. And he is a very dangerous politician, Tallarico. And when I share what I'm going to share, and I'm not talking about the regular things we're hearing that you're seeing in the sound clips. I came across something with Tallarico that makes him not only dangerous, it exposes a very, very devious Democrat plot against the greatest country that's ever existed, and that's the United States. But first, I want to talk about Spencer Pratt and Karen Bass, and with this new poll that shows Spencer Pratt in the lead for the first time. That's a great way to start the weekend. It's the latest Emerson poll. Spencer Pratt is at 35. Remember, the last poll before this, he was 8 points behind. Now he's 3 points ahead. That's an 11-point gain since the last poll. And that's something. So Spencer Pratt is at 35. Karen Bass is at 33. 16% are undecided. And again, this is a poll of likely voters taken on May 27th and 28th. Now, I want to share this with you, and all this information I have is on my X at Brian Craig Show. I couldn't believe this. Spencer Pratt is very, very smart. He holds a degree in political science. He uncovered something on his research of Karen Bass. He came across a news clipping from the LA Times dated Monday, November 28th, 1983. You can look this up on your own. I have this on my X at Brian Craig Show. You can look this up on your own. The Los Angeles Times, Monday, November 28th, 1983. And it's on page 21. If you find that edition online, it's probably on microfiche. It's so old, but look it up. And they're talking about Karen Bass. This is the LA Times. November 28th, 1983. Listen to this. And if this isn't a disqualifier, listen to this. LA Times. Karen Bass, according to a 1973 intelligence document provided to the LA Times, traveled to Cuba. By the way, it was illegal to travel to Cuba back then, right? Still is today, right? Karen Bass, according to a 1973 intelligence document provided to the LA Times, traveled to Cuba with the 6th contingent of the Vicerimos Brigade. The brigade trains revolutionary-prone Americans in terrorist tactics and guerrilla warfare while claiming to harvest sugarcane. They use the sugarcane harvest as a way around the travel restrictions. Karen Bass is characterized as a brigade leader. She's returned from Cuba to the United States, and she brought back propaganda literature. That's the LA Times wrote that article. Published November 28th, 1983, the LA Times, page 21. You can look it up yourself. So she's not just a communist. She's a revolutionary who trained with terrorists. She was a leader of a terrorist training brigade in Cuba in 1973 when she was 20 years old. 20 years old, she went and did that. And it makes me wonder this. All these problems in Los Angeles that are being covered, is it by accident, incompetence, or by design? Are the problems in LA done on purpose by Karen Bass? You know, as a Cuban revolutionary, as she is described, connected to this terrorist brigade, a leader of it by her very own LA Times, The communists want to bring down America, especially Cuba. That's their whole thing, bringing down the evil Estados Unidos. So is she doing her part for the communist revolution in LA, bringing down a great American city, Los Angeles? This is huge stuff. And it blows my mind. This came out yesterday afternoon. Spencer Pratt released this. I haven't seen it on television. Have you? All right. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our first break, come back with your calls. The number is toll free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Father's Day will be here before you know it. We're just a couple of days away from June. You want to do your Father's Day shopping right now at mypillow.com. There's huge sales going on at mypillow.com. In fact, some of the lowest prices I've seen on some of the most popular products out there. Give dad, granddad, your husband, okay? Give them a gift that they will keep and use every day for years and years and years, the gift of these great products at MyPillow. The normal things you get, Dad, they end up in the garage, they end up in the trunk of the car, they end up in a drawer in the dresser and never get used. Give Dad something he will use and remember for years, the gift of a MyPillow, the gift of the MyPillow sheets, the gift of the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. Go to MyPillow right now, mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, for huge savings. I'm a dad. I know what fathers want on Father's Day, and they want all these great items from mypillow.com. Huge savings with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be back with your calls after this. All right, now we're clear. We're in radio break right now. Okay, hold on. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. It's 888-465-2631. Those of you on hold, hang in there. I'll take the calls after the break. But today, every Friday is open phones. Monday through Thursday, you've got to call in about what we're talking about. But on Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up, Steve and I. In fact, you don't even have to comment on the things we bring up, okay? So the show prep is up to you and the listening audience on Friday's show. So feel free. Hopefully you'll have some good things today. I'm always open. But, you look at this, this LA, and this, again, you can go to my ex. It's right there. Is this a disqualifier in your mind? I mean, maybe she needs to be investigated. Here she is in Cuba, training with this terrorist brigade in Cuba. This is what she did there was illegal. She was 20 years old. Then she comes back here. So is she still a communist? Is she a communist revolutionary in this country still, Karen Bass? And is she on a mission to destroy a great American city, Los Angeles? What are your thoughts on that? I'd very much like to hear your thoughts. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Do you know what's cooler than seeing a great movie poster? Owning a great movie poster. JustMoviePosters.com has over 200 great movie posters, and one of them can be yours. Go to JustMoviePosters.com to get that great movie poster today. JustMoviePosters.com. What if one unexpected encounter changed your life? Everything changes after a chance meeting with a mysterious woman and a remarkable call. simply can't put down. It also makes a great addition to your book club filled with suspense, heart, and emotional depth. Canine Intervention is more likely life can change. Now the connections we least expect can alter our lives forever. The Canine Intervention, Mark Bill Pinamaker, is available right now on Amazon and Kindle paperback and free with Kindle Unlimited. Order your copy right now.
All right, we are about 1 minute away from coming out of the radio break. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take the calls when we get back. All right, 888-465-2631. I'm going to take them in the order in which they were received. All right. Yeah, less than a minute, and we'll be back. You know, a story like that, this is what really ticks me off about the fake news media. This LA Times story that Spencer Pratt uncovered that is so relevant today because it involves Karen Bass, who's destroyed LA and she's running for mayor. We're in a conflict with Cuba. There's an investigation going on by the Treasury Department, high profile, of Hassan Piker and Code Pink about a trip to Cuba and how it happened and who paid for it. And Karen Bass did the same thing in 1973 with a revolutionary terrorist organization. So, I mean, these are it couldn't be more relevant than it is right now. All right, here we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Broward. My name is Larry.
Larry in Broward County. What say you, Larry in Broward?
I have two questions for you. For your face to be on a currency note, who decides that?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned this. If you're on hold, hang in there. So let me tell people what your question involves who may not know, and then I'll answer, okay?
Okay.
There's a move right now, and I'm so excited about this, to have a limited edition $250 bill. That's right, a limited edition $250 bill, and with President Trump's face on it, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the greatest country that's ever existed, the United States. So our Broward County caller here, you're asking who decides that? The Congress of the United States. The House just introduced a bill on this that they'll probably pass. It'll go to the Senate and then to the president to sign. And Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said yesterday they're already ready to make the print up the money. Very exciting, isn't it?
So why did all the people who died for this country, their face never arrived on the bill?
Well, we can't put everyone's face on money that's died in the service, in the military. That'd be a lot of people, including the million who died because of you Democrats during the Democrat insurrection of the Civil War, when the Democrats are responsible for the death of 1 million Americans during the Democrat insurrection.
What about the Buffalo Soldier?
They didn't all die.
Right, but don't you think he also should deserve being on one of the?
Well, I don't know. I'm excited if they come out with the limited edition $250 bill with President Trump on it. I'm going to buy as many of them as I can, put them in my safe deposit box with my autographed MAGA hat, with a note to my daughter and grandchildren to hand these out to the family in 2076 during the country's tricentennial 300th birthday. I'm excited about this. Why are you so down on it? It's the 4th of July. We're 250 years old. Isn't this exciting?
Yeah, but there's people out there who have fought in the war for America.
Well, I'll remind you, since you're so concerned about people, President Trump took a bullet for this country when the Never Trumpers shot him in the head in Butler, Pennsylvania.
So what about Dr. King?
I'm not opposed to putting Martin Luther King on money. I'd be fine with that. But President Trump took a bullet for this country. All right, take care, Broward. Oh my goodness, he's show shocked. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. It's Friday.
How's your family?
Everyone's doing well, thank you.
That's good. That's good. Hey, look, what I was calling you about, I was gonna call you about Mr. Pratt and the mayor of L.A. thing. But
Yep.
first of all, I want to say I know Pam Bondi now she has cancer. I hope and pray that she's doing well.
Yeah, she has Pam Bondi. It's being reported as thyroid cancer.
That's all I want to say. I just hope and pray that she gets through this.
So,
because cancer is.
What do you think about your Democrat Karen Bass? She illegally traveled to Cuba.
That's all I want to say.
That's all you want to say. So his surrender. He can't deal with the facts. He can't deal with the facts. Oh my goodness. I want to take our bottom of the hour break on time, and then when we get back, if you're on hold, hang in there. And if you'd like to call in, please do. It is open phones, open Mega Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. But when we get back, I came across one piece of audio from Tallarico, which is sick. It's disgusting, perhaps even perverted, but scary as well. So you won't want to miss that. But first, do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? You may have neuropathy and not even know it. If you have neuropathy or think you may, call Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. Here's some of the major symptoms: numbness, pain, burning, tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness. Do you fall down from time to time or all the time? Do you have the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. If you have any of these symptoms, you may have neuropathy. Lighthouse Medical, let them examine you and let you know. But if you have neuropathy and you know it, they have a treatment for neuropathy that can rid you of your neuropathy symptoms, like it did with Steve Kane 4 years ago, come June, which is just a couple days away. Steve had neuropathy in the worst way. He saw immediate relief after the first treatment. After the treatment plan, his neuropathy symptoms were all gone. And here we are on the eve of the 4th anniversary since then, and his neuropathy has not returned. Lighthouse Medical can treat you for your neuropathy no matter where you are in the world. If you're local here in South Florida and you can make it into their office in person in Pompano, that's awesome. But if you can't make it into the office, even if you're local, but no matter where you're located on the planet, they can treat you for your neuropathy as well. Here's the number: 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back after this. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. After the break, we'll get back to the calls, okay? Stand by.
Some of the most meaningful gifts don't come from big companies. They come from family. At Selena's Studio Art on Etsy, every design begins the same way. With a mother, a pencil, and a lifetime of imagination. For years, she created hand-drawn characters for children's books. Funny, playful, and full of heart. Her work was recognized around the world, featured in magazines, and loved by generations of children. Now those same drawings are coming to life in a whole new way. From t-shirts and hoodies to mugs, coloring books, puzzles, posters, even home decor. Each piece at Selena's Studio Art on Etsy carries the warmth of a real story and the care of a real family. Every item is made with premium materials, carefully produced, and designed to bring lasting joy. Whether it's a gift for someone you love or something special just for you, Selena's Studio Art on Etsy has it. It's a legacy. Discover unique handcrafted designs that make people smile. Only at selenastudioart.etsy.com. That's selenastudioart.etsy.com. Some towns keep secrets. Covenwood, buried there's alive. From author R.L. White comes a dark gothic supernatural fantasy filled with haunted houses, cursed mirrors, living books, ancient magic, and women history tried to erase, and Witches of Covenwood. Available at lulu.com. when Sadie Harper uncovers the terrifying truth behind Blackthorn Manor. She's pulled into a hidden world where witches were condemned, their names stolen, and their stories rewritten by powerful men who called cruelty justice. Now, alongside a powerful sisterhood of women, Sadie must fight to expose the truth, break ancient curses, and free the forgotten voices trapped beneath Covenwood itself. Dark, emotional, atmospheric, and unforgettable. Witches of Covenwood from author R.L. White is perfect for readers who love witch mythology, gothic mystery, fierce female friendships, and supernatural suspense. Order your copy right now at lulu.com and be sure to visit the author's website, indietarothouse.com. Witches of Covenwood from author R.L. White on lulu.com. Back taxes, Jamie Leeback at Swift Tax is here to help. He's helped people just like you with their IRS problems, and he doesn't charge those outrageous high fees the other companies demand. Jamie Leeback at Swift Tax charges only a small fraction of what those companies charge. Stop worrying every time the mailman comes that he's bringing you a letter from the IRS. Call Jamie Leeback at Swift Tax right now, 954-773-1587, 954-773-1587.
All right, we're still in radio break, but I'll take a call, maybe two. We'll see. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ben from Pamela.
Oh, hey, Ben. What's up?
Hey, so I actually wanted to talk about, the thing that's been on my mind lately is Thomas Massey and how much of another complete failure he is.
Yes.
And the reason he's important is because he represents a growing fake faction of I don't even consider him a Republican. But it's time that we stop pretending that libertarians are ever going to be useful to us.
That's right.
These people are not allies. All they do is fight, create problems. They're childish. They don't understand how the real world works. They'd rather burn everything down instead of getting their way.
Well, I'll tell you about, President Trump. I'll tell you two things about libertarians. President Trump said about Rand Paul the other day, he said he hides behind being a libertarian so that it's an excuse not to get anything done. So in Congress, libertarians, I think, really are rhinos, and they just say they're libertarians to put themselves up on this pedestal of being the true conservative and above everybody else. But they're really fake Republicans like all the rest of the rhinos. They just lie about it.
Yeah. Well, they're also a viper's nest of freaks and geeks and degenerates. But
yeah.
Look at the past two presidents. I think it was Chase Oliver. This guy's some weirdo trans supporter, and now the guy currently is trans. They can't help themselves. To them, being a libertarian means it's just like the left. They think everything's oppressive, and they want the freedom to be as degenerate and weird as possible. And the thing I hate about nothing, they're not even critical thinkers. These people actually think Israel's the source of all our problems. The country we give less than 0.5%
yes.
of our budget to, even though we give plenty of billions of dollars to other countries, get nothing in return. At least with Israel, we have a presence in the most hostile, unstable region in the country that also happens to be a oil hotbed, so it's very important geopolitically. And so it's just the fact that seeing Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene out in Costa Rica probably still have the health insurance that the taxpayer dollars afford.
Well, Massey's still a member of Congress for 6 more months, remember?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to release all the Epstein names. I'm going to burn it all down on the way out. Why didn't you do that before?
All right, now, hold on. We're in break right now on the radio, so this is just on YouTube, but we're going to be back in 15 seconds, so I'm going to hold you over.
Whatever.
No, hang in there. Hold on. We're going to be back in 10 seconds.
Sure.
I want to continue this conversation about these phony libertarians, because I can't say. The rest of you on hold, stand by. All right, 5 seconds. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig, and I was talking with Ben from Pompano, about libertarian. When I first started with Steve Kane, he told me never have libertarians on. He says they're terminal. And, what I've come to realize, you were talking to me about libertarians. Massey claims to be a libertarian. Rand Paul claims to be a libertarian. Libertarian is a fake movement, okay? And I was telling you, libertarians are really rhinos, and they're obstructionists. They get elected, and they act as if they're a better type of Republican above everyone else. I'm a libertarian. but they're really fake rhino Republicans, meaning they're Democrats, and they hide behind this libertarian label, and all they are obstructionists. That's in the government. That's all they are. They're not just they're not useless. They're very effective to the Democrats. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And like with Thomas Massey, he first off, they pretend to be principled and they're not. You know, so he said he would, if he got voted out, he wouldn't run again because he's not a politician. And look at this, he gets absolutely demolished. It's not even close. Like, people just did not want him, and he sounds like a complete crybaby leftist. Instead of accepting his defeat, he says Israel was behind it. Israel was behind John Cornyn and Cassidy, and they both lost. So, like, you got to stop pretending like, you know, or not Israel, AIPAC, so Americans who support a good relationship. So not even Israel, foreign countries cannot contribute. So Americans who support Israel were behind other races and they lost. So he's got to stop pretending as if defying Trump is going to end well, because really what it came down to is the people in Kentucky voted for Trump by in his district by like plus 20 or whatever, and he was stopping Trump. And so, like, dude, we don't want you in here because Massey needs to get it through his head. Trump is more popular than him. Massey's not a national movement. Massey's not a national thing. He was cool at first because he had a little libertarian streak, but he was able to take down the left and he worked with us. And then all of a sudden he accuses Trump of being a pedophile, even though he was the one.
And why? And you know, and him and Marjorie Taylor Greene down there. I mean, you know, I really question what that trip is really about. I think there's too much emphasis on trying to convince us it's about deep sea fishing. For it to really be that, but you know why? You know, I mean, why is he not reading the Epstein names off? I mean, you know, he's been promising to do this. He, you know, and when a member of Congress is on the floor of Congress, Congress makes the law, so they make the law so they can do whatever they. You can't be held accountable for slander, lie, anything. Why does he not release the names? He said he was going to read them on the floor of the House. And another thing with Massey, he said he wasn't going to run. I read the other day that he's already filed to run in that same seat in 28.
Yeah, no, he did. That's true. And the thing is, Massey has become just like Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's so fitting that they hang out because they're both the same type of vile snake. They became drunk on the celebrity of being in Congress. They loved going on Fox News. They loved getting all the special perks. They loved how everyone, the following they amassed on social media. They loved it. And then when they go to D.C., they can't let it go. And so when Mr. Principled Libertarian, who he doesn't get anything done, he's not an effective legislator, he throws sand in the gears, he's completely useless to our movement, the movement that is the country's movement. We are MAGA. And
that's right.
So he comes in, gets nothing done, and then he has the audacity to blame it on Israel that he's a failure. Dude, look in the mirror, Mr. Libertarian. Take some responsibility.
That's right.
That's right. Constantly, you were like the lone Republican turning against us on the most important legislation. Yeah, he had a good voting record, but he went down hard, fast, very quickly in a short amount of time.
That's correct.
Last year.
Well, listen, Ben, you make a lot of good points. I'm going to move on, but I could not agree with you more. All right, you take care. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, it is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones on Friday, as you can hear with the first callers of the day. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Richie.
This is Richie. You own dogs. You own cats. I mean, what's wrong with Tallarico out in California wanting to own the female uterus?
Oh, you mean in Texas?
Yeah, Texas rather. Yeah, he wants to own all female uteruses. I mean, this is a pervert. This is an out of control left wing crazy man. And by the way, the woman that went to Cuba is just like what you see protesting ICE out in New Jersey, using language that I never used in the Army when I was drunk in bars.
Yeah.
I can't believe the disrespect, the total disrespect for human beings, and they're being and if anyone could, the more they're exposed, I hope decent, normal human beings that are watching this quite frankly, I like to see ICE take out those billy clubs and just whip them all.
Well, I don't want that. I just arrest them peacefully. That's what they should do. But this story with Karen Bass, it could not be more relevant today because Cuba's in the spotlight because of the conflict. The investigation of Hassan Piker and Code Pink about their trip and financing to Cuba. Now, Spencer Pratt finds an old newspaper article from the LA Times, which is a credible source for this, that she traveled illegally to Cuba in 1973, lied to the State Department to get the travel documents, said she was going down there about sugarcane, and she led a terrorist guerrilla training camp, and then she came back here with her literature. Is she still fighting the Cuban Revolution in LA? And I would say there's a pretty darn good chance, and there's a complete media blackout on this story.
She's a total commie. He brought this up a couple of weeks ago when she attacked him. She said all he was a reality TV actor, and what he said was, listen, I'm proud of what I did. Maybe not the character that I played, but while I was doing that as a youth, what were you doing? You were Cuba. And
but what he's done now, that's true. But what he's done is he has produced proof from the LA Times that it's true, right? It's a documented source, a primary source. It's not up for debate. And she didn't just go to Cuba. She went to Cuba and led a terrorist guerrilla training camp. She was like a drill instructor.
The United States.
Yeah.
She is a total commie. She hasn't changed. She's soft-spoken and an old lady now. She's just as bad a communist right now as she was then.
Correct.
She learned how to control it. She learned how to control it and to how can I say this? Just like the one in Virginia, they run as moderate, nice human beings, and they rule like total communists. Before you're going to let me go, I'm going to bring up the communists in New York. People, if you own a home, if you own an apartment building, there are a lot of people that invested their money in apartment buildings.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it in Florida, you're okay. You do it in New York, you got a government. You got to pay so much money in taxes, your repairs, everything that you have. You got tenants that don't pay you rent because they're protected by the city of New York.
That's right.
The New York government housing is dilapidated. There's roaches, there's rats inside the government homes. Now this mayor said that if you don't keep up with maintaining your building to his standards, he is going to take your private property and just distribute it to somebody else.
And keep in mind, this is a guy that eats oatmeal with his fingers, and what and I got to tell you, I'm not sure what to make of this event the other day where AOC was wearing the Muslim clothes. Has her district gone Muslim? What's going on with that? That was very strange. She did not look comfortable.
It's in style to wear clothes like that.
Muslim clothes?
In New York City. Yeah, in New York City, because if you're a Jew hater, you're going to get more votes than if you're... in other words, it's trending. She's going along with the trend in New York City. The mayor is anti-Jew. They're after Jews in New York City. I mean, I personally don't know how Jews sit there and just either take it or not pack their bags and leave because it's ridiculous. So if you're a Muslim in New York, you can see it with the demonstrations. It's in style. It's in style in New Jersey when you're protesting ICE, by the way, to wear that Gaddafi thing over your face.
Yeah.
So nobody can see what you are. They're concerned about ICE not being, wearing masks.
Well, I think, I agree with what you're saying, but AOC wearing that Muslim clothing at that speech, she did not look comfortable.
She's running for president.
She's
running for president.
That's not the way of what? Of what? The UAE? I mean, she's
going to be. She's scary. I'm going to tell you right now. I believe that the power of the Democratic Party is behind AOC and Mandani.
Yes.
It's so
I told you, people laughed at me when she first got elected to Congress the first time. I said they're grooming her to run for president, and you guys laughed at me, and here they are trying to push her towards that direction. All right, Richie, I got to run. Good points. Take care. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. With Friendly Tire in Margate, where you can get new tires out the door and on the road as low as $75 a tire. There's no excuse during this rainy season of the year. Man, it was raining yesterday again, to be driving on tires that don't have the proper tread. You're taking your life in your hands if you don't have proper tread on your tires. Friendly Tire in Margate has been with us for many, many years on this program, and they're a strong supporter of everything we do here. So make sure you buy all your tires there. And when you call Friendly Mike, make sure you tell him you heard him on the Steve Kane Show. He'll take extra good care of you, okay? So $75 for new tires out the door and on the road. I mean, that's amazing. And he also has used tires as low as $35 a tire out the door and on the road. And when I say out the door and on the road, as low as $75 on new, as low as $35 on used. Out the door and on the road, meaning Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires. Give Friendly Mike a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, it is Open Mega Mike Friday. If you're on hold, hang in there. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. The number is 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. All right, I'm going to go through, when we get back, this Tyler Rico clip I came across, which is very sick, very twisted, and made me just like really worried about this guy. Not that he's going to win. I'm not worried that he's going to win, but what they're planning to do and what the Democrats are doing is scary. You'll hear it. We'll be right back.
Hi, Tom Wilper here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
You can run, you can hide, but eventually. Thought she escaped her past. She left everything behind. Her home, her life, even her name. Now, she's just another face in the city, living in a rundown motel, working a job she hates, trying to stay invisible. But some nightmares don't stay buried, and some secrets refuse to let go. Stone McCabe is a man who doesn't get involved. He's a bodyguard with a reputation for keeping his distance. Until one rainy night changes everything. Because when Stone meets Sophie, he sees something no one else does. Secrets and danger closing in fast. What starts as a simple favor turns into a fight for survival because helping Sophie could save her life or cost them both everything. Saving Sophie is winner of the Reader's Crown Award and multiple national awards. Story of suspense, passion, and the kind of love that refuses to back down. Order your copy of Saving Sophie from author Kate Bowman on Amazon for free, but only for a limited time. So order your copy right now. Saving Sophie from author Kate Bowman on Amazon. Your business is still missing calls, losing leads after hours, or paying too much for outdated answering services. It's time to upgrade to the future with MyAgents.plus. MyAgents.plus delivers smarter front office AI voice agents that answer every inbound call. Book appointments 24/7 and help your business operate more efficiently than ever before. MyAgents.plus AI voice agents never sleep and can be deployed in minutes with a simple one-click setup. Choose from more than 36 templates, over 37 languages, and and multiple male and female AI voices designed to fit your business perfectly. Whether you run a medical office, real estate business, law firm, or customer service operation, MyAgents.plus gives you a modern cost-saving solution that works around the clock. Stop losing calls and stop overpaying for outdated systems. Let AI handle your office calls and more with smarter voice automation from MyAgents.plus. That's MyAgents.plus.
All right, we're about a minute away from returning from the radio station break. So if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And remember, Friday is open phones. On Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. Less than a minute, and we'll be back. All right, 888-465-2631. And, of course, celebrating here at the top, Spencer Pratt in the latest Emerson poll of likely voters is 2 points ahead of Karen Bass. The last poll he was 8 points behind, so he has gained 10 points. He's gained, he's gaining. I mean, he's gained 10 points over her. He was 8 points behind. Now he's 2 ahead. This is likely voters. We're less than 20 seconds away. I mean, this is amazing. 16% undecided. This is great. We're going to know next week. All right, less than 10 seconds. Stand by. We're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Okay, man. You know, yesterday you mentioned about DeSantis.
Yeah.
I just had to say something about that. On DeSantis is saying he wants to get rid of property tax. He wants to make the exemption for a homestead $250,000 and $500,000. Now, you know, because he lied to us about President Trump, it's very hard for me, and I think for a lot of people, to believe what he's saying. You know, if he does what he says and he gets the property taxes gone, then
I'll say this. Other than lying to the president about running, what else has he not told the truth about? I mean, it seems to me he's done everything he's promised.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job. But then again,
I can't trust him to be president. Okay, and I don't even know if I could trust him to be a senator, because I could see him being one of those rhino senators. But you know, I was talking to his idea of increasing. See, to do away with the property tax requires a constitutional amendment in the state of Florida. 60% of Floridians would have to vote for it. So that's never going to pass. So they found a way to do it, which was increase the homestead exemption, which they can do. The legislature will pass this, and then it'll be on the ballot, and we need just a simple majority to get it through. And almost everyone I know will pay either no property tax or very little property tax. So I don't know how anybody could. I am so excited about this. You have no idea.
Yeah, but here's what I'm trying to bring out is, you know, if he gets it done, he'll be the #1 governor ever in the United States, and he can certainly become the president if he wants to become president. Eventually, he'll be so popular. And if he doesn't get it done, he still say, "Well, I tried, but the Congress." So we'll soon see what this guy's doing.
He got through a few weeks ago. He got through Florida's own version of the Save America Act. He renamed Palm Beach Airport Donald John Trump International Airport. That goes into effect is it June or July? And I'm going to fly out of there, maybe to Washington, to make a YouTube video about it once it's officially changed. I'm going to go up one day and do it over the summer on a nice summer day. There's cheap flights out of Donald John Trump International to D.C. round trip. And he, one of the things he promised, he says, before I leave office, open carry will be legal in Florida, constitutional carry. He did that, you know, which there was a lot of, you know, so he's done everything he said he would do, except betraying President Trump in the running against him, which is a big deal. I mean, but
One other thing he's doing, that he's backing a different person. He's not backing Byron Donald.
Well, that's ticking me off. That's really ticking me off. He's not back. He not only is he not backing Byron Donalds for governor, he's bad-mouthing Byron Donalds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he's
he's saying, "Oh, Byron," but he says Byron Donalds is in the House. He's not doing anything. He's not part of this. All this great things that are happening in Florida. Well, before he was governor, DeSantis was in the House. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, man. So something's not, as they say, not kosher here. But we'll soon see. I'm hoping he gets his test, and then I'll forgive him. I know President Trump already said that he likes him. So.
Well, but that doesn't mean we can trust him to be president or a senator.
Yeah.
If he became a senator, he could end up being like Mitt Romney, right?
Oh no, God forbid, man. That'd be.
Well, I'm serious. I mean, these are, but I do want that I want that homestead exemption thing to go through. Like, that is life-changing for so many people. Property taxes are a lot of money. If you go online and you look at what your property taxes are, if you don't know, a lot of people don't know, because if you have a house that's financed, most often your property taxes are part of your mortgage payment. For most people that have a house that's financed, so they don't realize how much they're paying in property taxes. Believe me, I know. I've always known. In fact, the reason I used to live in Broward, and the house that my wife and I bought that I live in now over 20 years ago in Boca, the reason we moved to Boca and didn't buy a house, we had a condo and we wanted a house because our daughter was young, and we bought a house in Boca because Palm Beach property taxes were cheaper than Broward. At the time, at least, and property taxes. I mean, we've got like 5 or 6 dog parks in my neighborhood, 2 public libraries within 3 miles of my house. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man. I know somebody who's waiting to decide if he's going to sell his house or not if this tax gets done, because he said, I bought my house at 16. The tax was $7,000.
Yeah.
14 to 15,000. But he said $15,000. He said, I don't want to pay that anymore. I'll get out of the state and go someplace else.
Exactly.
Taxes are low.
And so many people, because remember, like my mother lives in a nice neighborhood, but my mother's house in Fort Lauderdale was built in the 50s. And she's lived there since 84, 85. So, her property taxes aren't she may not even have property taxes anymore if this goes through. And she's retired and her house is paid for. She may not even have property taxes. And for people that are retired, property taxes is I mean, it's like we're slaves to the government. Ron DeSantis says people are renting their homes from the government, and that's so true. All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. After the top of the hour, I'm going to play this Tallarico clip that I came across, and and I'm going to give you a warning. It is disturbing, and it's not one of the rotating 5 or 6 clips everyone's been playing. Although I may play some of those later. This one's new, and it scared the living daylights out of me. This guy is a dangerous dude, Tallarico, and he's not alone. There's a whole movement on the left doing what it is, and I'm not talking about him calling women people with uteruses, okay? Because he can't call them women, because I'm going to play that, and we'll talk about it and what that means. But what I'm going to share with you after the top of the hour is very, very disturbing, and there's a big danger coming in this country that we've got to be aware of. All right, now, if you're on hold, stand by. It is open phones. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show, because Friday is always open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. The show prep is up to you. You can call in about any and everything you want on Friday. The other days of the week, you got to talk about what we want to talk about. And I want to remind you to do your Father's Day shopping right now at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout. Some of the lowest prices I've ever seen at MyPillow.com are available right now with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Don't buy Dad all those boring things you normally buy that he doesn't use and are forgotten about. Get him any of these great MyPillow products, the pillows, the sheets, the mattress topper, whatever you get Dad from MyPillow, he will use every day for many years to come. You can also order by phone, 800-716-48 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with your calls, and Tallarico after this. Don't go here. Oh, man. All right, guys. That first hour just flew by. Oh, my goodness. We'll be right back.
Do you ever feel trapped inside your own thoughts, constantly overthinking, replaying conversations, worrying about the future, struggling to find peace in the present moment? You're not alone. But what if you could quiet the mental noise and finally experience a calmer, more focused, and more meaningful life? Author J.D. Bright offers a powerful and practical guide to overcoming overthinking and building true emotional resilience in the book, The Resilient Mind, Thinking Less, Living More. Available on Amazon. This inspiring and life-changing book helps you break free from restless thoughts, relieve self-judgment, and develop a healthier, more fulfilling mindset. When you read The Resilient Mind, discover practical actionable mindset to stay grounded during life challenges, improve focus, productivity, and connect with what truly matters most. If you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, distracted by gossip and chatter, or simply searching for greater peace and balance, The Resilient Mind, Thinking Less, Living More can help you move toward a simpler, stronger, and more joyful life. Start living the life you truly love, the life you deserve. And order your copy right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. The Resilient Mind, Thinking Less, Living More, from author J.D. Bright on Amazon. You owe back taxes? Jamie Lee back in Swift Tax is here to help. He's helped people just like you with their IRS problems, and he doesn't charge those outrageous high fees the other companies demand. Jamie Lee back in Swift Tax charges only a small fraction of what those companies charge. Stop worrying every time the mailman comes and he's bringing you a letter from the IRS. Call Jamie Lee back in Swift Tax right now. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. Do you know what's cooler than seeing a great movie poster? Owning a great movie poster. JustMoviePosters.com. There's over 200 great movie posters, and one of them can be yours. Go to JustMoviePosters.com to get that great movie poster today. JustMoviePosters.com. Some of the most meaningful gifts don't come from big companies. They come from family. And Selena's Studio Art on it's a gift for someone you love or something special just for you. Selena's Studio Art on Etsy has it. It's a legacy. Discover unique handcrafted designs that make people smile. Only at SelenaStudioArt.etsy.com. That's SelenaStudioArt.etsy.com.
All right, we're about a minute away from returning from radio break, and then we'll start the second hour of the show today. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to get into this Tallarico video I came across when we get back, and then I'll take more of your calls. And if you'd like to call in, the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. And remember, today is open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. 888-465-2631. And please, guys, do me the favor of liking the video. You know, when you like the video, you're really my marketing team, because liking the video gets the channel, gets the video recommended to people who have not yet found me, and that's how we grow. So please like the video. We've got less than 30 seconds, and we'll be back. And after you like the video, if that hype feature becomes available, you may or may not see that. If you could do that too, that'd be great. But please stop what you're doing and like the video. All right, here we go. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. If you're on hold, stand by. I got to get to this Tallarico story. It's very disturbing, and the Democrats have some very devious plans, all right? Now, it is open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. You are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. You don't even have to comment on the topics that I bring up or Steve Kane bring up. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Now, there's a lot of weird clips, and I am going to play some of those coming up of Tallarico. But this was him giving the invocation on the floor of the Texas State House. And what Tallarico is doing is something that the Democrats are doing nationwide, and there's really a major move into this. I'm not concerned about Tallarico winning; he's not going to win, okay, in Texas. But the movement that he's a part of is trying to destroy this country, and everything the Democrats do is all deception. They are out of touch with the pulse of the American people. They always have been. Everything they do is deception. And what they're trying to do is destroy what they would call the Christian right. They've given up trying to defeat Christians. They're infiltrating our churches and rewriting Christianity. Listen to this invocation that Tallarico gave on the floor of the Texas House of Representatives. Oh my. Now see this? This is like those bumper stickers you see, those coexist bumper stickers that all the liberals drive around town on, those coexist that have, so now he's morphing Christianity into all these other religions, right? But he goes on. Hear that? This is a Christian. He's given a Christian prayer, and he's doesn't believe in creation. He's talking about elements accidentally coming together for the Big Bang. See, the primordial oceans, this is the evolution from the goo to the zoo, all that kind of thing. Now he doesn't believe in creationism. He believes in evolution. He's promoting evolution. God didn't create the earth. Some elements just coincidentally came together somewhere, and there was a little tiny thing and had an explosion. And then this goo came out of the ocean, and that's how life was created. This guy, see what they're doing? Instead of trying to go up against the Christian right, they're trying to destroy Christianity, infiltrate our churches, and rewrite Christianity. They're just trying to destroy it from within. Out of all the clips I've seen, this is the most disturbing. This is evil. It is sick. It is twisted, and he's dangerous. I've stopped this so many times. Let me start from the beginning. I apologize, but this is some sick stuff. Oh my goodness. Unreal.
love God and love neighbor. Because there is no love of God without love of neighbor.
See, if you study history, in particular, the socialist movements, the communist movements, socialism, it's the same thing. What they do, okay, what the socialist communist movements do when they take over someplace, they take the heroes and icons of that society and make them their own, and tell you that they were this, that they were what they are. Okay? The National Socialist, the Nazis, when there was an American Nazi movement, when the Nazis in Germany were in power, if you go online and you look, there was that famous socialist rally at Madison Square Garden. I can't remember what year it was, but it was before the war that the American Nazis had in New York City. If you go and look that up online, they have images of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington up. And they're trying to tell you that Abraham Lincoln and George Washington were National Socialists. When Obama first became president, do you remember what he did? He started quoting Lincoln all the time. In particular, he was talking about Doris Kearns Goodwin's book, Team of Rivals. And he was going to have his cabinet modeled after Abraham Lincoln's Team of Rivals, where he brought people in from all political, and he's a socialist communist, Obama. And what they're doing now, instead of taking Lincoln and Washington, they're taking God, they're taking Jesus, and they're turning it into from the goo to the zoo and the Big Bang, and quoting the Quran when they're talking about Jesus. See how the end of it, the first half was coexist, talking about the Quran, talking about the Big Bang, talking about the goo in the ocean, where we came from. And then at the end, it sounds like what you would normally hear in a church. And now this was when he was on the floor in the Texas house, but he travels and goes to churches and talks this way as well. A lot of these clips you hear of Tallarico are from appearances he's made in churches. Tallarico knows he's going to lose, but what they're doing is they're elevating him and his movement. You may have seen a lot of young people are becoming Catholic, which I'm very excited about, being Catholic. But I believe that so many young people are becoming Catholic because of what these Democrats are doing in our Protestant churches. They're liberalizing them with all their liberal ideology. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our first break. Oh, I got to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Here we are. It's going to be June in a couple days. Summertime. And you want to look good in your swimsuit, your T-shirts and everything. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You've seen me. Not only have I lost the weight, I have kept it off. I haven't gained back anything that I lost. It's amazing. And you can see I'm wearing shirts that are now size small. I was wearing size large before I lost all this weight because I had to have the extra size for my partially obstructed view when I would go to the bathroom, the men's room, because of my belly. And I went from a large to a small. I went from large shirts to small shirts. I am wearing size small right now. And it's amazing. And those of you that watch on YouTube, you can see my miraculous weight loss. And not just miraculous weight loss, it's that I've kept the weight off. Totally effortless, because with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, since I didn't do any exercise, except, of course, my mouth. I run my mouth a lot. But other than that, no exercise. I ate foods I would normally eat. I didn't starve myself. No shots, no pills, none of that nonsense. And I've kept the weight off. And because I didn't have huge lifestyle changes when I was losing the weight, keeping the weight off, I don't even think about it. It's just is. I've just done it. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call no matter where you're located on the planet. They can help you lose weight and keep it off too. And of course, it's a no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I've got more to share on this with this guy when we get back. He is very bad news, Tallarico. I mean, isn't that scary? Isn't that scary? It really is. It really is scary to me. I mean, and I would imagine you're scared. You know, I've been telling you guys that they're done fighting the Christian coalition. They're done fighting the Christian right. They're done labeling us with this bizarre thing they made up, Christian nationalism. They realize they can't defeat it, so they're infiltrating the churches and bringing in the Big Bang and evolution and all this other nonsense and this coexist business, and as opposed to our religion being the true religion, and trying to destroy us within. And Tallarico knows he's going to lose. He can't win with this in Texas. But what he wants to do is elevate himself nationally to continue the long game that they're running here. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, I got a lot more to share. All right, don't you go anywhere.
Former jocks living carefree lives, focused on partying, good times, and avoiding anything too serious. But everything changes after a chance meeting with a mysterious woman and her remarkable dog. What follows is a powerful journey where love, loyalty, jealousy, fear, regret, and self-discovery collide in ways no one could have predicted. As emotions intensify and secrets are exposed, the twist starts early, continuing all the way to the very last page. Even readers who don't consider themselves dog lovers will love this unforgettable story. And dog lovers, this may become a book you simply can't put down. It also makes a great addition to your book club, filled with suspense, heart, and emotional depth. The Canine Intervention explores how quickly life can change and how the connection we least expect can alter our lives forever. The Canine Intervention from author Bill Pennebaker is available right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Order your copy right now.
All right, guys, we'll be back in about a minute. All right, stand by. Less than a minute. We'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got a few other things I gotta bring up because there's so much has happened. And Oh my goodness, we're almost halfway through the show already. Holy smokes, where is the time going? 30 seconds and we'll be back. Where is the time going? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've got a meeting today at 11:30 and I'll be done by 12 and then the weekend begins. I'm excited. We're back. I'm Brian. It's Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It is Open Mega Mike Friday. You are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind today. The number 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee in Harlem.
Hey, Renee. Can you turn down the volume in the background?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to get over there, and it won't, man.
It's a great show. I mean, that's the best show in America. Some say in the world that you're listening to, but I
gotta shut this thing down, and it won't let me. Oh God, hold on a second. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sure. This is going to be a great call. Renee from Harlem. There's a lot of buildup, Renee. All right, go ahead, Renee.
The thing I was calling about is your aspersion to this Christian nationalism, which I find really hilarious. I think you should know that the person you're praying to, Jesus, was a black man.
Okay.
So I think you want to be a Muslim now.
You know, the skin color, I didn't realize that all the Israelis were black, but so what? The skin color of Jesus is not important.
Israelites.
Okay.
Stop interrupting for a second. They're Israelites, not Israeli.
Okay.
They made that word.
All right.
They don't exist.
Okay.
They don't exist.
Okay.
Those people over there
Tell
in
yourself
Israel are European.
So what's your religion? Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian, Renee?
I'm more Christian than you would ever be.
Okay.
You're a caveman.
Okay.
You're a Neanderthal.
Okay.
You've never been a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You've never been a Christian.
Okay.
Ever. Moses was a black man.
You're just, why are you so angry all the time?
Why are you so racist and stupid?
No, that's not an answer. That's a question. Why are you angry all of the time?
Because you're a racist and stupid.
Oh, you're angry because of me? Your whole life revolves around me?
No, I like confronting a racist and telling them they're stupid.
All right, Renee.
That's what I like.
It is Open Mega Mike Friday, but you have to have content for the mic. All right? Take care. All right. Oh, my goodness. No content. No content there. All right. Now, yeah, so DeSantis went on Fox last night on Hannity, and he was talking, Hannity lives in Florida, so he's excited about this property tax thing, help him towards his alimony with his first wife. And this is DeSantis last night on Hannity talking about the property tax abolishing in Florida. Yeah, and see, in Florida, we've got a big problem with the price of our homeowners insurance, right? When we had those hurricanes a few years ago that hit in the Gulf of America, on the Gulf Coast, insurance in Florida went through the roof. And there's not much they can do about it. Private insurance companies are going to do what they can do. And so many Floridians are really risking everything by that are homeowners that have their homes paid off, are giving up their homeowners insurance. And they're giving up their homeowners insurance because between that and the property taxes, it's just too much money. and people work all their lives to pay off their homes, and they find out that it really isn't that much money they're saving, right? Because I was talking to a call in the first hour about this. Most people, when they have their home financed, okay, there's three things that there's exceptions and you can separate it, but almost every single person that has a financed home, their mortgage payment contains three things: the actual mortgage payment, the property taxes, and the homeowner's insurance is in the same policy, right? I mean, in the same payment. And Florida right now, and now there's exceptions. If you had a house in Hannity's neighborhood, it'd be a little different. But in most neighborhoods, the homeowner's insurance, the property tax, and the mortgage payment, they're all bundled into one payment. Your mortgage payment every month, it contains those three things. For most people, of the three, the smallest is that part of that mortgage payment is the actual mortgage. People may be paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in a mortgage payment. And if they're paying $5,000 a month, or I'll say $3,000 a month in a mortgage payment, the actual mortgage may only be $500, $600, $700, $800. And the rest of it's going to homeowners insurance and taxes. Okay. And people retire to Florida and they get all excited. They sell their house up north, or a lot of times, people like me, when your kids grow up, you sell your house and you use the cash to buy a new house to retire in. And then you find out that the taxes are so high that it's only making a few $100s a month difference on every month because of the homeowners and the taxes. And I know, renters, they don't care about that, but actually renters should care, because your property owner's got to pay for his life, and it could lower rents too if they did away with the homesteaded property taxes, which DeSantis is talking about. Believe me, this is a big issue, and it'll get us a big conservative turnout on election day as well. All right, I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and when we get back, I've got more to share. We'll take more of your calls at 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. All these, it rains every day. And has it not been raining hard this week? Oh, man. It rains every day. It's rainy season, hurricane season. I don't care what the official dates are. It's raining every day, and the rains have been hard. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Remember, he covers the entire state of Florida. 954-604-4602. Remember, that rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. You can call or text. You've got the owner of the company's cell phone number before, during, and after the project. It's amazing. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. We'll be right back. All right, you guys hang in there. We'll be right back.
Caring for someone with dementia can feel overwhelming, emotional, and exhausting. Every day brings new challenges, important decisions, and moments you never want to forget. That's why Dementia Caregiver Journal, a practical guide for tracking daily care, meals, sleep, and notes for doctors. From More Motivate Media was created. The Dementia Caregiver Journal is designed to help caregivers stay organized and confident by keeping everything in one convenient place. You can track daily moods and behaviors, medications, sleep schedules, meals, doctor notes, trigger calming strategies, and care plan updates with an easy-to-use layout designed specifically for dementia caregivers. The Dementia Caregiver Journal is also a private space to reflect, reduce stress, celebrate small victories, preserve meaningful memories, and care for your own emotional well-being during one of life's most demanding journeys. With 2 276 pages, guided prompts, and a portable 6x9-inch size, the Dementia Caregiver Journal becomes your trusted daily companion through every stage of caregiving. If you're caring for a loved one with dementia, you deserve support too. Order your copy right now on Amazon. Dementia Caregiver Journal, a practical guide for tracking daily care, meals, sleep, and notes for doctors from More Motivate Media on Amazon. Do you owe back taxes? Jamie Levac at Swift Tax is here. He's helping you IRS problems, and he doesn't charge those outrageous high fees the other companies demand. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax charges only a small fraction of what those companies charge. Stop worrying every time the mailman comes that he's bringing you a letter from the IRS. Call Jamie Levac at Swift Tax right now, 954-773-1587, 954-773-1587.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we got about 90 seconds, and we'll be back from the radio break. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got more to cover, too. I mean, my goodness, there's just been so much news. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from, all right? So we got about 1 minute, and we'll be back. And the toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. Another clip. I mean, these people just some of these fake conservatives, right, that are out there, and the things they say just blow me away. We'll get into that when we get back. Oh man, and please guys, like the video if you've not already done it. All right, please. That really, it gets the channel recommended to people that have not yet found me. So on YouTube. So please like the video. And I will be around all weekend podcasting and everything here. So I'll see you guys then. All right, 25 seconds. Oh, well, we passed the halfway mark, and it seems like I just opened up the mic. All right, 15 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. Okay, you know, the things that people say these days, it just really, truly blows my mind. Do you guys remember Joe Kent a few weeks back, maybe a couple of months ago? He was the guy that was leaking out of the White House, and he was fired, and he may be facing some criminal prosecution. Megyn Kelly was a guest on the Sean Ryan show, and Sean Ryan is one of the fakest conservatives I've ever seen because, you know, he's a former Navy SEAL, and thank you for your service, you know, all that. But when the major combat operation began a couple months back with Iran, he said he'll never vote Republican again. He's not going to vote for these guys. What kind of conservative is that? Right? So, you know, I don't have much use for Sean Ryan anymore, but he had Megyn Kelly on, and they're talking about Joe Kent. So Joe Kent was the White House leaker that the president recently fired. And is he under investigation? I don't know what the status of that is, but listen to Megyn Kelly talking with Sean Ryan about this leaker, Joe Kent. She admires it. You know, when you're working for the president and you're leaking, you know what you are? If you're a spy. If you are leaking from the White House, you're not some journalistic hero. You are a spy leaking classified intel. Really, what other spies does Megyn Kelly admire? Oh my goodness. See, hear that? Let me play that for you again. Hear what she said? It's a quick clip. Hear that? She wants him to still be a spy. She's upset that he got exposed. They busted a spy, they got rid of him, and she still wants him there spying on the president. What the heck? I wonder what other spies she supports. What has happened to these people? They call themselves conservatives. Yeah, the true conservatives, right? Oh my goodness. Now the president, they got this 60-day Iranian ceasefire, and and I'm watching the all the discussions about this. Oh, Trump surrendered to Iran. Iran's winning, and da 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 da. I don't know if the people that give analysis in the media are lying or to their audience, or if their Trump derangement syndrome is so severe that they can't see what's going on. These ceasefires that President Trump keeps getting going with Iran, 60-day ceasefires. Do you hold on one second. Let me take care of this. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick unscheduled break, okay? And then we'll be right back.
words, at LaPorta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At LaPorta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we got about 30 seconds, Barry. Okay, stand by.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good Friday morning.
Yeah, happy Friday to you and everyone listening. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend
Indeed,
coming up.
absolutely.
This morning I wanted to talk about something important to do with Medicaid. There's so many myths out there, and you know, we all think immediately if this is the first time we're hearing about it, or you know that Medicaid's not for me. It's for people who have very little assets, very little income, and that's partially true. It is. That's what it's designed for. But most of you who are listening now are going to be able to qualify. Of course, we would not know your situation until we actually review your situation. That's why we offer a free opportunity to come in and meet with us, and we'll go over your situation and determine, number one, if there's any chance of you qualifying. Like I said, most of you can. And number two, if there's anything you need to do now to make sure that you can qualify in the future. Now, what's one of the myths of Medicaid? One of them, and there's many, is that you have to wait 5 years to qualify if you're going to transfer your money away. Now, that is true to some extent, but there are ways to handle that. So there is a 5-year look-back period. So if you were going to give money away to someone else, such as a child or grandchild, and then say, oh, I'm nearly broke, put me on Medicaid, that's not going to work because this 5-year look-back, it causes a disqualification period. However, Florida happens to be one of the best states for being able to qualify, and there are things you can do. There's legal strategies you can do to move those assets to your child or grandchild or whoever you want it to go to in a way that Medicaid allows without it causing the disqualification and the 5-year look-back disqualification. So those are things that you need to be aware of, and in certain instances, it's something that you need to do and plan for in advance. So that's why you need to come in and see us so we can review it and see if this is something you need, to make sure that you and your family can rest assured that you're not going to run out of money during your lifetime.
Yeah, and remember, if you mentioned you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, you can take advantage of the no-charge in-office consultation. The number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, have a great weekend, Barry. We'll talk next week.
All right, you too.
All right, take care. Take care. All right, so what President Trump is doing is so beautiful and dramatic and historic. I want to go through this because I'm watching what's going. There are two major things going on. One's political and one's Iran. And I'm watching all of this analysis and no one's getting what's going on. And it makes me sick because it's so obvious. And I try to realize, are they not getting it because their Trump derangement syndrome is so deep in their bones? Or are they lying? Are they gaslighting their audience? Are they gaslighting themselves? I don't know, but I want to tell you what's going on. Now, first, I want to start with Iran. I saw people are immediately getting upset that President Trump they're coming up with another 60-day ceasefire with Iran. And people, many of them conservatives, are saying, wait a minute, we want to go in and carpet bomb them. We want to wipe them out. And and Iran's winning, and they're kicking the can down the road, and they're trying to run out the Trump's term and thinking there'll be a new president, and this is what they do. Do you really think, I want you guys to think about this. Do you really think that President Trump, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and the rest of this incredible team around President Trump don't know what Iran's all about? So why are they doing this? Why are they agreeing, the Trump administration, to 60-day ceasefires? This is why. Okay, I'm not going to troll for calls to have people call. I hate when people bring up something like this and try to get the audience to call in and guess. I want to tell you what's going on. Number one, there was a story a couple of days ago, wasn't widely reported, but it was reported that the entire internal economy of Iran has collapsed. Iran is under siege. You know, throughout history, there's a long history in warfare of cities being under siege, right? Stalingrad in the Second World War. Iran is under a siege right now. It's an economic siege. It's not an embargo. It's an economic siege. Scott Bessent, who's probably the greatest Treasury Secretary that this nation has ever had, has completely cut Iran off from any outside money. They can't get any money outside of Iran. Even if it's theirs in bank accounts around the world, they're completely cut off. They're not selling any oil because we've got the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz going on. The only money the Iranians have is cash money inside Iran. In this conflict with Iran, we've only lost 13 Americans. Most of them were in two incidents. One was not even the Iranians doing it all when we had the tanker collision issue a few weeks ago. And then in the early days of the fighting, they got one lucky rocket shot off on a U.S. base and killed some American service personnel in one building. Remember that? 13. Hey, listen, we don't want to lose anybody, but we've only lost 13, which is very low when you consider the scope of what's going on here. If you're on hold, stand by. I got to get these things out because it's very important and it's totally being missed. I know it's open phones today, but I got to get through this or it'll be missed. And I would love to hear your comments on this. So all Iran has is cash on hand right now. They can do no banking of any kind with any other nation in the world. They're not able to sell oil. They're not getting their toll tax at the Strait. They can't even access their own bank accounts around the world. All they have is the cash on hand. So what's going on inside Iran? Well, you've got some religious fanatics in the IRGC that are, planning on going down with the ship. But a lot of the people inside the Iranian leadership are taking whatever cash they can and hoarding it, burying it in, they can't leave, but they're burying it in the desert. They're burying it in their backyard. They're burying the money or hiding the money because they don't know what the future holds and they want the money. So there's a lot of that. So there's a lot of they only have the cash that is on hand inside of the government of Iran. The only money they have is cash money that they have on hand in Iran. And so a lot of them are stealing money to have security for themselves and their families when everything is over. They're running out of cash to pay their army. Remember, we didn't attack the regular army. And they're running out of cash to pay their private security forces as well. So what President Trump is doing, President Trump is very, very patient. As opposed to going in and starting up a major combat operation that would kill Iranians, no doubt. President Trump doesn't like to kill people. And puts American lives at risk where we could lose more American lives. He has an economic siege going on, and they're on the verge of economic collapse. When they can no longer pay, when they're out of cash and they can't pay their army, and they can't pay their private security, what's going to happen? The desertions will start, because the people in the army and the people in their private security forces have families to support, children to feed. And if they're not getting paid because they're out of cash, there'll be mass desertions and things will start to collapse. So that's what President Trump is doing. There's an economic siege of like none has ever been done before on any country in the history of warfare. And but what the Trump administration is gambling on, and their tactics are not just some random idea they came up with. The CIA and Mossad are so embedded in Iran that they get real-time intel on the situation in Iran at the White House. So believe me, they know how dire it is, the financial situation inside Iran. So when the financial collapse happens, it'll be easier to continue and move in and take them. So that's what's going on with Iran. The President Trump is really not negotiating the nuclear dust and all that stuff. I know what's going on, and they can't come up to an agreement, but he doesn't expect them ever to come up with an agreement, the Iranians, because they're psychotic. They're like E. Jean Carroll. They're nuts. So that's what's going on with Iran. So, just take a chill pill and relax. President Trump knows exactly what he's doing in Iran. Would you rather him do this economic siege on Iran and bring about a complete financial collapse and then take care of business, or have a major combat operation where a lot of Iranians get killed and Americans may get killed in the combat operation? I think the way he's doing it is the better way to do it. Don't you? And if not, why not? It's pretty smart. It's something that's never been done before. Now, a lot of rhinos don't like it because the military-industrial complex don't make their money unless you're using weapons. This doesn't help the military-industrial complex. They want to really make some money, but that's what's going on. It's so obvious, no doubt about it. And it's hard for me to believe that most of the people that are doing the analysis in the mainstream media don't see it. It's so obvious what's going on here. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. It is open phones. You can call about whatever you want. I got a lot of other things to bring up, but we're here till 9, and that's the president's strategy. All right, our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Dave from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Dave, what's up?
Yeah, you took my thunder. I was going to tell you the same thing about the Iran situation.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, people don't have patience to wait. I know what his game plan is. He even came out and said it,
Yeah.
This is not only, like you just spoke about saving lives and stuff like that, he's also saving us money by replacing missiles that we'd have to buy. Those things aren't cheap.
Yeah, and that's why the rhinos are so upset, because their donors are the ones that sell those missiles, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And just people don't have no patience. All they're worried about is getting that $5 down from gas.
It will. How much longer financially can Iran hold out?
Yeah. I just came from the grocery store. Guess what? My eggs are still 99 cents a dozen.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. We all want cheaper gas. Don't get me wrong, but it's in the long run, it will drop, and in the long run, we're going to be much, much better off.
So you have one pizza night less a month than you do.
Yeah, whatever.
Sacrifice a little bit.
Exactly for the
I
war
agree
effort.
with you on that, Brian.
Yeah, I'm glad you do. All right, I appreciate the call. Now, another thing President Trump's doing. Scott Bassett did the White House press conference yesterday because Caroline Leavitt is out on maternity leave, and he dropped something big that they're doing, which I'll share with you as well. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Oh, this one's going to be great. I can't wait. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pratt from Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Okay.
Boca Raton. My open mic comment is interest rates. The only way you're going to stave off the potential problems we have is to raise the interest rates.
Where's Boca Raton? Where's Boca Raton?
It's right outside.
It's right outside. I know. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, like, if I took I-95, like, what exit would I get off for Boca Raton? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh my goodness. His mistake was with that call. I'll just give you the thing. People in Boca, okay, they either refer to Boca as Boca or Boca Raton, not Raton. Boca Raton, but very few people say that. It's usually just Boca. Oh my goodness. If you're going to lie about where you are, lie about a place that is not the place where I live. And I don't understand why people lie about things that they don't have to lie about, because, it's, oh my God. And those of you that live in Boca, right? I mean, he could have said Yamato. He could have said Glades. He could have said Palmetto Park Road. They got that new ramp up on Spanish River Boulevard, I mean, come on. Jeez. I could almost hear him reaching for the phone to try to pull up Google Maps or iMaps fast enough to give me an answer. Oh my goodness. At least challenge me, right? At least challenge me. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh my goodness. So there's a second thing President Trump's doing that is incredible, and it's all over the place. And the media, they're not getting it. And again, I don't know if the Trump derangement syndrome stops them from doing all these things, or if they're just lying. I don't know what it is, but we'll get into more after the top. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. The number is toll free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Why does someone lie over something that's not important, right? And they're just compulsive liars. They can't control themselves. They're liberals is what they are. Liberals, they can't tell the truth for whatever reason. But I want to tell you this. If you're tired of security cameras that just cost way too much money, don't give you the protection you need, or difficult or impossible even for you to install, you want to call Sloman's. I'm going to give you the number in a moment, so get something to write with. Sloman's facial recognition cameras are amazing. Sloman's advanced technology recognizes familiar faces and alerts you when specific people arrive. Isn't that something? That's right. It even connects with your alarm system, your cell phone. So when you pull up to your house with the Sloman's facial recognition cameras, your lights, it recognizes you. So it turns on your lights, it unlocks your doors. You don't need any keys. You just walk right in. It's boom, because it recognizes you. And right now, for a limited time, you can get all of it for just $24.95 a month. But for a limited time, you'll receive an all-in-one facial recognition door lock and doorbell camera, an outdoor camera, plus the Sloman Shield home security system that includes an LED keypad, 3-door window contacts, a motion detector, and battery backup. And everything is professionally installed. Give them a call, toll free, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, 2 hours down just went by in the blink of an eye. The third and final hour of the week is coming up after the top of the hour break. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. It is Open Maga Mike Friday, open phones. Call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. The number 888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the top and be back with the 8 o'clock hour right after this.
Some of the most meaningful gifts don't come from big companies. They come from family.
storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At LaPorta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At LaPorta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602. Find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, guys, we'll be back shortly. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm getting my commercial copy for the next hour. Together. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we got about 90 seconds and we'll be back. You know, with that last caller, I mean, I ask you guys, why do liberals call in and lie about trivial things? I understand they lie about bigger things, or they want to pass themselves off as a conservative, as a Republican or something, to try to have some credibility. But why would somebody lie about the trivial things? And, you know, when someone, I expect liberal callers to lie. Don't get me wrong. But when they lie about something that's so unimportant, how can I have a conversation with them? Right? How can I have a conversation with them? Because when they're lying about something so trivial, how can I have a conversation with someone who probably everything they say is a lie? We're 30 seconds away from coming back. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free and pinned in the live chat. Okay. We are back. I'm Brian. It's Steve Kane Show. The third hour has begun. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vicky from Virginia.
Hey, Vicky. What's up?
Listen, Brian. You know, have you watched that interview with Teleweirdo?
There's been a lot of clips of different you're talking Telerico is being called Teleweirdo. There's been a bunch of clips from different interviews with him, so I've seen a lot of it, but I don't. Which are you referring to in particular?
I mean, the ones that he's trying to correct, which the guy was leading him on anyway. That other people say. It's not what other people say; it's what he said. You know, he's trying to make it seem that Trump and Trump organization and other people are saying things about him. It's not what other people said; it's what he said.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make the correction that, I didn't do, you know, I messed up this, but there's things that I do. I mean, it was so fake. And I mean, that will make a very good.
Well, you know, here's the thing with Talarico. They know he's got to know that the chance of him winning in Texas are less than zero. When Beto was running a few years ago, he thought he had it, but this guy, and he had no chance. But Talarico, do you think he's aware that he cannot win in Texas? I think he is.
Well, I think Mr. Obama is trying to build his hopes up.
Yes.
You know, because, you know, I think they're running the same circles or whatever it is you want to call it. But I'm just saying, it is just weird. I mean, and the thing is, he said it. He's trying to make it seem that we imagining this stuff. He's the one that said this stuff. You know, right there on tape. We don't eat meat, and my staff and we don't eat meat. Then when the guy asked him, he said, I've always been a meat eater. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, they can put everything he said in comparison to what he.
Well, what they're doing with Talarico, the Democrats, there's not very many Democrats around, and they're losing all over the place. But what they're trying to do with Tallarico is not win Texas. They understand it's hopeless. What they're trying to do is elevate him to the national stage. For some reason in their mind, they think that they're always, you might want, why are they making such a big deal, the Democrats, over a white guy who claims to have a girlfriend? I haven't seen her, but he claims to have a girlfriend. If you look at what they're doing, what they're doing, Vicky, the Democrats are trying to win back the white male voter. And they've got two guys that are polar opposites. They got Plattner in Maine, who's the Nazi, and they've got Tallarico in Texas, across the country. And what they're really doing, it's almost like a focus group. They're trying to see which one of these two guys can gather the most white male support. And then the party in the next election is going to go with it, whether it's the Nazi or this guy. And that's really what they're trying to do. It's so bizarre.
You are absolutely right, because they don't have a problem with the weird white females. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them lately. I mean, they're just off the rails.
Well, it's really a competition. Which one can do better, right? The white male Nazi or the white male? I don't even know what label to apply to Weirdo. And whichever one of them performs best is how they plan on the party going. They've lost the white male vote. They're desperate to get it back, and they're doing a test to see if one of these two guys, both two extremes in different directions, can bring back the most white male voters to them. I know it seems bizarre, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah. They even try to make him run like a Sandberger. Deny. This is really what I want. Take the Republican talking points and all this kind of stuff. That is what he's doing.
That's right.
I mean,
well, no, Vicky, I agree. Well, thanks for the call, Vicky. You make a lot of good points. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Nice to chat with you. I'm calling from West Palm Beach, my friend. I'm getting ready to go over the Blue Heron Bridge here for work.
Okay, cool.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
As opposed to our fake Boca Raton guy. Yes, you know exactly.
Yeah, so I'm going over the bridge, and I love the Blue Heron Bridge because you get to see Palm Beach, Peanut Island, Palm Beach Gardens, and the ocean right in front.
And of course, Peanut Island is where President Kennedy had his fallout shelter in case of nuclear war. That's correct. Yes. All right. So what's on your mind?
Hey, I was that previous caller. It was pretty recently. I'm 54. Oh, by the way, congratulations! What a neat thing. I never heard that before, and I listened to your show so much. 1977.
Well, not with me. The Steve Kane show's been on since 77.
No, I understand, but you're part of it, and that's quite a feat.
I've been a part of it. I've been a part of it most of the time. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good stuff, my friend, and keep going. That previous caller, I'm 54, and it's only been maybe 2 years or less that I was really educated on what gaslighting means.
Yeah.
And the way that lady explained what's going on with Tallarico, I think that's one of the main tactics it is of the Democrats, is to not have a position. All they do is gaslight. They're professional gaslighters. Also, my thought is they are nothing but the party of perversion. They pervert everything, whether it's the government programs or the rainbow flag or the family structure, wholesome family values. Everything.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. We got Telefrico, we got the Nazi. What the Democrats are, and I don't know, they've always been corrupt, but I've been talking about this the last couple of weeks a lot. They've totally given up on politics. They have no platform. All they're running on is to keep their financial crime syndicate going. That's it. They're an organized criminal financial organization that's in the business of stealing federal funds. It was announced yesterday there's a 50-state audit that the federal government's going to do on all the autism federal funding.
Amazing.
And I'm thinking we don't have an autism problem in this country. I'm not saying there's no one with it, but I don't think that many people have
It's a
autism.
corruption problem.
Yes, they're just stealing autism funds, and there's an illusion that there's a lot more autism. There may not even be an autism crisis in this country.
Yeah. Hey, my son, I took my son, and he's 8 now. He had a little bit of some tendencies, autistic tendencies, and I took him in, and they were pretty quick to diagnose him and put him on meds. And I said, hold on a minute. And so come to find out he's not diagnosed, but I can see how a family or someone can get sucked into that. And then just the whole corrupt thing. I'm very happy. It looks like the greatest thing I see, Brian, there's so much to celebrate, but the exposure of corruption and hopefully this dismantling of it is glorious.
Well, that's why when I opened the show today, I opened with Spencer Pratt, in the latest poll of likely voters is 2 points ahead of Karen Bass. And I was telling Steve yesterday, I think the big issue that has us doing so well this primary election season is this corruption being exposed. Now you're new to the show. How long have you been listening to the program?
I would say less than a year.
Okay, that's new. When we're 50 years old almost, that's new.
Oh, but one other, this is on 95.9. Also, from your show, little throw out there, I just had a Sloman's, and I'm dead serious. From your show, thank you, I just had a Sloman security system installed in my house with 2 cameras, and it's phenomenal. It's wonderful. It shows up on my phone if there's anyone walking by my house or anything. It's great. So thank you for that. They're a great company.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Well, take care. Appreciate the call.
Have a great day.
All right. Take it. Now, listen, the rest of you on hold, hang in there. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. I love this guy. He's awesome. He's the one that gave Elon that black eye and all that. He dropped something that really didn't get noticed too much in the White House press briefing yesterday. And what President Trump is doing through Scott Bessent is amazing, which I'm going to tell you when we get back. But first, I want to tell you about Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. Dr. Appleton is a life changer. He's a life changer. I talk often about the 7 times he's rid me of pain. He's rid me of pains that I've suffered from for years. My knee pain I suffered for about 30 years, 25, 30 years from a car accident I was in many years ago. My knee got jammed up because you tense up when you get in that accident. That was a god-awful pain. And before Dr. Appleton, that was the first pain he rid me of. Before Dr. Appleton rid me of my 30 years of suffering in my knee, it was my right knee. And anytime I'm on the air, those of you that watch on YouTube know, anytime I'm on the air, I always broadcast standing up. A lot of guys like to sit down. I like to stand up, always have. And I would, because of my knee, standing for 3.5, 4 hours during the show, it was just too much. So I had all my weight all the time on my left leg, and I had a chair next to me that I would lean on during the show. And the reason I did that is because my knee was hurting so bad. And when Dr. Appleton treated me with his robotic laser wave pain treatment, not only did the 30 years of pain disappear, it's been 4 years coming up in July, and the pain has not returned. And by the way, that goes for all the 7 times he's rid me of pain. Stop suffering. Say bye-bye to your pain. The consultation with Dr. Appleton is free. That's right. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Do you love trolls? Do you love ninjas? Well, what do you get when you combine both? Troll Ninjas. Check out troll-ninjas.myspreadshop.com and find out exactly what kind of ninja you are. Are you a lazy ninja? Are you a tired ninja? Or are you a cute ninja? Troll-ninjas.myspreadshop.com. That's troll-ninjas.myspreadshop.com. you owe back taxes? Jamie Levac at Swift Tax is here to help. He's helped people just like you with their IRS problems, and he doesn't charge those outrageous high fees the other companies demand. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax charges only a small fraction of what those companies charge. Stop worrying every time the mailman comes that he's bringing you a letter from the IRS. Call Jamie Levac at Swift Tax right now, 954-773-1587, 954-773-1587.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we'll be back in less than a minute, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to get into what the other thing that Trump's doing that's not getting any press at all, but I'm going to share it with you. Hang in there. Oh, my goodness. Okay, 20 seconds, guys, 20 seconds. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, it is Open Mag and Mike Friday. You're welcome to do so at 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Okay, so Scott Bessent, the openly gay Secretary of Treasury, did the White House press briefing yesterday. Caroline Leavitt is on maternity leave, and they're all taking turns, right? We had JD, we had Marco, and we had the Treasury Secretary yesterday. And what he dropped, and no one even picked up on it, that they've been investigating the financiers of Antifa, and they're about to make some big arrest. And if you look at what President Trump and his cabinet have been doing in the last few months, and again, all this has happened since Pam Bondi was fired by the president. I mean, and none of it would be happening if she was still Attorney General, because she was obstructing everything. But if you look at what's happening, yesterday I spent a lot of time talking about the E. Jean Carroll prosecution. There's a high-profile investigation going on by the Treasury Department of Hassan Piker, the Islamic big Democrat socialist mouthpiece. He's like they think he's the Rush Limbaugh of the liberal movement and of Code Pink on this Cuba trip. And Hassan Piker did something really stupid this week, which after this happened, which I'll get into in a minute. But if everything that they're doing, they're not going after the Antifa members, these idiots with the masks. They take the masks off, and you find out there's some overweight geek or the daughter or the son of some billionaire CEO of some big company. They're going after the people funding Antifa, right? With E. Jean Carroll, that's all about getting paid, which she said she didn't do, and who paid her to bring up these harassment cases against the president. Hassan Piker and Code Pink, it's about the finances involved in their Cuban trip. You notice what's going on? You know, it's like the Southern Poverty Law Center they went after, the Justice Department a few weeks ago. The Democrats, the left-wing movement in this country is a tiny, tiny little thing. And there have been these billionaires and millionaires, or even foreign governments like the CCP, that have been dumping money into these organizations or individuals, whether it's Antifa, Hassan Piker, Code Pink, E. Jean Carroll, and they've been dumping money into these individuals or organizations to create the illusion of a mass protest movement against anything that's going on in this country, or yeah, that's right, or actually funding the illusion that there's a revolution going on in this country. And what they're doing, they're not going after the Antifa members. They're not even really going after Hassan Piker or E. Jean Carroll. They want the money people that are funding these fake liberal movements. And they're getting them. And there's going to be some big arrest with Antifa. And the Democrat Party, which has completely lost its way, is so small, with so little true influence, that's been artificially inflated by the foreign states like China or these leftist anarchist billionaires, that it probably really should be considered a third party, not a major party. There's only one major party in this country. That's the Republican Party. You know, and that's where it's coming. And Hassan Piker did something so stupid the other day. When it came out that he was under investigation by the Treasury Department, he had a panic attack. And he's been doing online live streams all week about it. And yesterday and the day before, he's scared to death. You can tell you can see the way he looks that he's scared. And he's having these major anxiety attacks, and he's doing these live streams online. Yesterday and the day before, he started naming the names of the people that funded the Cuban trips and such. This is what the government wanted. And I don't know if he's got lawyers, if he's ignoring his lawyers, or he has rotten lawyers. But Hassan Piker had one card to play: flip on those who were funding him in Code Pink and work out a deal. And instead of doing that, he just did a live stream online and started naming the names. And I promise you, the federal government, the agents investigating him are listening to everything he says and taking down names. Like, oh, great, he gave us the names. We don't have to do any deal making. He just gave us the names, Hassan Piker. And what the Trump administration is doing, they're taking down the financial backers of all of these fake movements. You know, like with the Southern Poverty Law Center, we found out there is no Klan movement, white supremacist movement, or Nazi movement. Black liberals running the Southern Poverty Law Center were paying people to create the illusion of a Nazi movement, a Klan movement, white supremacist movement. Media is not covering any of these things because they don't want you to know what's going on. But that's what the president is doing. Taking down the Southern Poverty Law Center was as big as taking down Antifa. And that's why they did it. It's part of this financial racket that they're exposing that Scott Bessent dropped yesterday. And so far as Antifa, when he had a few months back, President Trump had a town hall meeting with a lot of these conservative journalists that had been in Seattle that had been faced down by Antifa. And if you watch that live, the president and the people on his administration were telling them, hang back after, give us the names, give us all the info you have. They did the research through the investigation through these people. And now Antifa's financiers are about to be the people that pay for the bricks and pay to have the bricks brought to the protest areas and dropped off. Those are the people they're getting, the big money people. This is really amazing what they're doing. Southern Poverty Law Center was the first domino to fall in that. Antifa, according to Best, it looks like it's going to be next. This is something else, isn't it? It absolutely is. Now, I want to talk about Joe Thomas and annuities. Did you guys catch Joe Thomas's show this week? He had a really interesting discussion on his show about how he can double your Social Security income every month. And, I was thinking, a lot of people that are retired and either you're living on your Social Security or maybe have a little something extra going on top of that, whatever it is. What happens a lot of times with couples is one of you go before the other. And then all of a sudden, your Social Security income, you lose one of the checks. And what happens is the surviving spouse can elect to take the Social Security of either of them that gets more money, right? So like if it's a husband and wife, husband goes, most of the time the husband's in the workforce more, so his Social Security is higher, the wife will take the husband's Social Security, but she loses her check every month. Or it could be vice versa. The wife dies and the husband's left behind. He's a widower, and now he's just lost a Social Security check every month. That hits a lot of retired people pretty hard. But Joe Thomas, with annuities, you can replace the lost Social Security check every month through an annuity when your spouse passes away. And next time Joe Thomas comes in studio with me, I want to talk to him about this, because that is a real, most people when they retire, most of them, the husband and wife, are both still alive. They plan their whole retirement about what they're earning in Social Security every month. But when one of you pass, one of those checks is gone forever. And that's where Joe Thomas comes in with an annuity to replace that lost income when your spouse passes and their Social Security. It's life-changing. It really is. Give Joe Thomas a call no matter where you're located and schedule your no-charge consultation. Now, if you're local, of course, you can make that no-charge consultation live in the office with Joe Thomas. But if you're not local or you can't make it to Jupiter, you can schedule it over the phone or through a Zoom call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be back with your calls after the bottom of the hour break. Don't go anywhere.
From author Tony Soika, who is named 2026's Best New Author in Veteran Fiction by Insider Weekly, comes a vigilante justice thriller for fans of Jack Reacher, military suspense, and stories that fight back against animal cruelty. Pit Bulls in Paradise, available on Amazon. After 30 years in the Army and 3 brutal combat deployments, John thought he'd finally found peace in Key West. But Paradise has a dark side when he discovers a savage dogfighting ring tied to ruthless criminals and abused pit bulls. Forced into bloody battles, he can't walk away. Haunted by war, driven by loyalty, and fueled by his love for man's best friend, this veteran becomes a one-man army against evil. Now, the hunters are the hunted, and one wrong move could cost John everything. Justice is coming, and it has teeth. Order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Pit Bulls in Paradise from author Tony Soika on Amazon.
All right, we'll be back in about a minute, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. He said quiet Peggy, not Piggy. He said quiet Peggy. Oh, my goodness. You guys need to get some updated stuff here, all right? Talking points. All right. 20 seconds, we'll be back. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're back. It's Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Thanks for tuning in. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number is 888-465-2631. I told you lots happened. Now, I opened the show today. The latest Emerson poll of likely Los Angeles voters, Spencer Pratt is 2 points ahead in the latest poll. That election is Tuesday. It's a primary. If Spencer Pratt hits 51%, he wins, and he's the mayor. But if he doesn't hit 51%, it'll be a runoff between him and Karen Bass, and he will go on to win. Very exciting times. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian IB.
Oh, hey, IB. What's up?
Tuesday, you asked me about Wasserman Schultz
Yes.
running in that district. And I was trying to answer you in a way where I can explain to the audience.
For those that let me catch people up, because this is a big one. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, which is probably the #1 Democrat in the state of Florida. She's been in the House for a long time. Ron DeSantis in the Florida state legislature did away with her district, so she's now running in a black district. So that's what IB's referencing here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County.
We have the chance now to put that old mayor out to pasture because I'm tired of seeing her face. Imagine Luther Campbell. Luther Campbell, for the people who don't know, we talked about the record, as crazy as they want to be. And now, my point is, he's gone through many court situations, having to deal with. He cannot use Luke Skywalker because it's Star Wars. And then he had to deal with Bruce Springsteen because he needed his authority to make a song ban in America. And this was at the high point of freedom of speech. They were trying to shut down freedom of speech. That's what that was all about. But my point is, he has years and years of not only being a businessman, he has the experience, he understands the city, he understands City Hall, he understands schooling for the kids and all the stuff that he went through. And I would pay money to see him and Wasserman Schultz a debate.
Well, I'll tell you, this is, I don't know what's this district. Okay, we have all these new districts. And this district in Broward is the only, I think it's the only black district left in Florida when they did the redistricting. And it basically covers almost every black neighborhood in Broward County. Okay. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz is running in it. And I read a story a couple of days ago that said in the latest poll in the district, she's in the lead, which, I don't even know if people in that district know who she is. But what she's counting on is this: the Broward County Democrat Party machine, which Broward County is more corrupt than Cook County, Chicago. All right, Broward County is the most corrupt political machine in the United States today. It's like Cook County in 1960. But the other thing is, there's a whole bunch of people. This is a Democrat primary. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Luke Campbell. The congresswoman who had to resign or was kicked out of Congress for these corruption allegations, Alcee Hastings, who longtime congressman down here, his stepdaughter. There's a couple of other people, and the black vote is split like 5-6 different ways, and she's the lone white person in the race in this Democrat primary, and I don't know. It's possible that she wins that primary.
I don't know when the election is, but I'll follow it more closely.
August. Our primaries are in August.
Well, I should say like debates, not primary, but the debates.
I don't think she'll debate. Well, I don't think she'll debate. How could she debate? It'd be a madhouse. She'd be going up against 5 people, and it would be a disaster for her. I don't think there'll be any debate.
They're going to try to slip her in under the radar. Then okay. Well, it would be amazing to see Luther Campbell in the Congress. That'll be. Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard. The last time I thought of Luke Campbell, I remember it like it was yesterday. Okay, me and my friends, we were underage, but we were drinking beer in a Publix parking lot in Davie on Griffin Road in University. And someone came into the parking lot and they were blasting 2 Live Crew. Okay. And that was like, that was like 89, 90, I don't know, and I haven't thought about Luke Campbell since then. So I'm not endorsing anyone in that race, but I'll tell you this, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is bad news. And for her to come in as the white liberal savior in this black district, it's the height of liberal racism, isn't it? I mean, it's insanity.
Okay, yeah. The second thing was Pratt. Spencer Pratt was on Gutfeld last night, and this is the second time I heard him say he believes through the powers that be, he believes that he will win by the 51%, and they try to box him in. Who are you, MAGA, or did you get Trump's endorsement? He's like, I don't want anyone's endorsement. You have people like Leo DiCaprio trying to endorse him. Say, I don't want any movie stars. I don't want anyone's endorsement. The only endorsement I want is the Angelinos, the women who have to walk around with poop and needles, getting their kids to school, or what have you, naked people in the front of the.
Well,
So
I saw him. He was on Fox a few times yesterday in CNBC. He flew to New York and did all these in studio. And he said that he said he believes God wants him to win this primary on Tuesday and get that 51%.
But I must emphasize what you said, because AI played a very important part in this, because everyone is on social media, and by seeing those videos visually and hearing and seeing the things that they know that's been wrong for so long, like with the train and everything, and all those monies being disappeared, and all the housing is already there. He said the housing is there for the people. But
I'll tell you something about Spencer Pratt that I was talking earlier this week that it looks like to me. Karen Bass has given up, right? She really hasn't been running in the last 2-3 weeks. If you think about it, if you watch, she's been on TV once or twice. She went to that polling location where people were voting illegally the other day, but she's not really running. And Spencer Pratt, it's not just AI commercials he's done. He did a commercial that was a rip off of the opening scene of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And
that was the third one.
Yeah. And if you saw that wasn't AI. He actually went out and he had real Hollywood movie people direct that. They did that. They decided to do that the day before they filmed it. So these were top Hollywood movie makers that made that video for him within about 12 hours from when somebody had the idea. And if you haven't seen it, don't do it till after 9, but look up the Spencer Pratt Fresh Prince of Bel-Air commercial. And to pull that off in less than a day. So here's what I'm telling you. Karen Bass has the endorsement of the teachers union, right? But Hollywood there's no Hollywood out there anymore. There's no work. I found this out last time I was out in right before my daughter moved here. I went out to LA right before she moved back to Florida, and I found out when I was out there that the sound stages in Hollywood have been converted to podcast studios. All these
podcasts, yeah.
And I saw, let me finish. And I saw Harrison Ford was interviewed. He was on Conan O'Brien's podcast, and he said the only thing that's filming in Harrison Ford said this: the only things that are filming in Hollywood right now are game shows, talk shows, and podcasts. So I think that there's thousands upon thousands of people in the movie business that are going to turn out and vote for him to bring the Hollywood business back.
Bingo. That's why he's even getting endorsed by far left liberal actors.
That's
like
correct.
DiCaprio, because they know this is dried up, and I cannot wait to see what Gavin Newsom's going to do next, because he's out, and I want to know what job he's going to be.
Well, and if you've noticed, in the last year, there's been a massive rise in celebrities doing podcasts. It's because there's no TV or movie work. Because Hollywood, and Rob Lowe has a game show that's on, and it's filmed in Ireland. And there's the game shows you see on TV now. A lot of them are being filmed in Ireland because it's cheaper to go fly the entire crew and contestants to Ireland and film game shows than it is in Hollywood. So I think that while Karen Bass has the unions behind her, I think he's got all of these out of work Hollywood people, the gaffers, the directors, the best boys, whatever, the sound guys, the camera guys, and they're out there. They're going to vote for Steve Hilton and Pratt.
All of those rules and regulations they've done to destroy California will be turned around, and Spencer Pratt is going to make Hollywood great again. Have a good
all right, you take care,
everybody.
IB. This is the thing you got to look at. We got these two big races in Cal. See, usually I don't think ever the mayor's race in LA has been covered. There's been discussions when there's been incidents like OJ or Rodney King or something, and then there's a mayor's race and people will talk. But California is truly, truly in play. There has not been a moment that Steve Hilton has not been in first place. Now Steve Hilton, if the vote's so divided. Unfortunately, we have that idiot sheriff running as a Republican that's splitting the Republican vote up a little bit. You know, the guy that what's his name, Baraka, whatever his name is, he took a knee to Black Lives Matter. I don't trust that guy. But Steve Hilton's in first place. It's going to go to a runoff. I don't see a way Steve Hilton's going to get 51% because the votes are so divided. There's too many people running, you know. But still, he's in first place, and if he'll be in first place, there'll be a runoff, and Steve Hilton will win. We're not going to have a fake Republican governor of California. We're going to have a MAGA Republican governor of California, endorsed by President Trump, Steve Hilton, right? And if Spencer Pratt, if he doesn't win the 51% next week, it'll go to the runoff and he'll win, right? And you get these two guys. The Democrat Party's done. You get Steve Hilton and Spencer Pratt. The midterm elections. If you notice, watching the pundits on television, they're not even talking about winning the midterms. They're talking about 2028. All right, let me take another call or two, then we'll break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you? The use, and we talked a little bit about today, the use of using our financial weapons, whether it's to use to collapse a country who may be an enemy of ours, or whether it's to collapse a political movement like Antifa, is brilliant.
It is.
It works at the macro level. Oh, absolutely.
See, President Trump, you know, his cabinet are all money people. They understand money, and that's how they're taking down Iran and these other things that I was talking about.
Look at the damage they did with Iran, just freezing their overseas assets.
Yeah.
Just cutting off, like, $24 billion or something.
Yeah.
You hit them at the macro level. You cause them to collapse internally because these are not great people and they're not stand-up guys. They'll all turn on each other. Like this Antifa movement, the guy will sell out anybody to save his own skin in that. You're forcing them to even work against themselves without the loss of life.
Yeah.
And it hits them at a major level. It's a brilliant tactical move, and it works everywhere.
And it takes a lot of patience because, the Trump administration, like with this Iran deal, they're taking a lot of hits because they're running a bit of a long game here. But you got to remember, half of the officials in Iran that work for the government are probably Mossad or CIA. I mean, we're so embedded over there, or their staffs. So they're getting real-time, daily reports on how dire the situation is in Iran, and they're really they know that these guys are never going to come to a deal. They're just waiting for the complete financial collapse.
And that's what we see coming. If the electorate was a little bit more educated, I hope they would realize how beneficial this tactic is. We can stay there indefinitely, and they're just going to collapse.
Well, I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but other than me or any other people that have shows talking about it this way, I haven't heard it.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, and it's a great talking point that you could make on these so-called national news reports and that. I don't see anybody, bro.
I don't know if they don't see it because they hate Trump so much and they can't think straight, or if they're not pointing this out because it's brilliant.
Well, are we getting into the legacy media on television?
Yeah, exactly.
Hiding these facts and being part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Once that goes down, like these guys on the late night talk shows and all that, seeing them start to disappear in that. I think it's all going to fall into place, and I think maybe the electorate is slow to grasp this.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at Antifa, take a couple of people off the street. Well,
it does nothing.
It's a little bit progress. No, but cut off the big money. Well, there's nobody.
Well, they're not just cutting off the money; they're going to be arresting the people that are funding these organizations.
Yes,
and that's the Hassan Piker thing with Code Pink, that's huge because that's a whole Chinese financing operation of these fake leftists. Listen, I got to run for the Gold Report. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, so hang in there.
Call Jamie Lee back at Swift Tax right now. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. We'll be back. All right, and it's time for the final gold and precious metals report of the week from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. We have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, how the metals ending out the week?
Metals are looking good, actually, after a nice pullback, giving us great buying opportunity. Yesterday, we saw gold at one point was down $100 and then put in a key reverse, what we call a key reversal, which is when they make a new low and then turn around and close up on the day. And that's exactly what happened to gold yesterday and silver. Gold hitting a low of $4,365 and a high of $4,517 and closed out the day at $4,495. That was up $39.50. Silver hit a low of $71.70, turned around, reversed upward, and closed up $1.01 at $75.53. Platinum was down $4 at $1,920, and palladium closed down $21 at $1,350. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $4,488 all the way up to $4,544. And right now we're at $4,515. That's up $20. Silver down 23 cents right now at $75.30. Platinum unchanged at $1,920. And palladium up $10 at $1,360. So if the gains on gold can hold for the rest of the day and close out up on the day, we could be putting in a bottoming process after this nice pullback that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. If that be the case, we could be looking to go back and challenge the $5,000 number.
Oh, man.
In the near future.
You hear that, guys?
But for now, we're looking at $4,515 gold, up $20 right now.
That sounds pretty good to me. You know, yesterday you were telling us about the great deals on silver. What are some of the best deals you have on gold right now?
Best deals on gold right now are the U.S. Gold Eagles for popularity
Really?
concerns. People love gold Eagles.
Yes.
And they're very popular. And normally they trade for a pretty steep, 4 or 5% premium over gold.
Yep.
And for our Steve Kane listeners, we have a special today on 10 coins or more at just 1% over the price.
Really?
That's 2% less. That's 2% less than what the mint charges the dealers in big quantities.
So that is the very well sought after American Gold Eagle.
Yes.
Oh man, that's the most popular coin in the world.
Yeah,
it is. It is. All right, listen. Give William Youngerman a call, and I've never heard you offer something like that on the Gold Eagles before. If you have, it's been a long time because I don't recall. Give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. 800-327-5010. 800-327-5010, or stop in. His address in Boca is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great weekend.
All right, take care. Yeah, so Scott Bessett, he dropped one thing he was asked about too, other than the Antifa. This one I'm really excited about. This was Ducey asked Scott Bessett about the $250 bill. Listen. Now, I'm so excited about this. So the House is going to pass this. The Senate, they're pretty upset with Trump because he's primarying out all these rhino senators. So I don't know if it'll make it through the Senate, but I sure hope it does. So they want what they're talking about here, and this is a real thing. The legislation is going to pass through the House. There is a legal ban. You cannot have a living person on American money, but the Republicans want a limited edition $250 bill, limited edition $250 bill for our 250th anniversary with the president's face on it. And let me tell you, that would be just such a beautiful thing. I'm going to buy as many of those as I can and put them in the safe deposit box to leave to my daughter and my grandkids that I don't have yet, the grandkids. And my whole life, since I was a little kid, I've been collecting money from 1976. I have a bunch of 1976 $2 bills and a whole bunch of the 1976 bicentennial quarters. And I've been collecting those all my life. And the reason I've collected them is it's not that they're valuable. The $2 bills from 76, it's not that they're worth $2, and the bicentennial quarters are worth $0.25. But I've been keeping them to leave to my kid and my grandkids so that I'll be dead unless I get really lucky. But when the tricentennial comes around, I want them to have them because I thought, oh, it'd be cool to have all this stuff from the 200th anniversary on the 300th anniversary. Well, if they come out with this $250 bill with President Trump, that's going to be something that's going to be valuable down the road. And because it'll be limited edition with his face on it, everyone's going to go out, they can, and buy them and save them. I know that. But I'm going to just put them in the safe deposit box for my daughter and grandkids in 2076 during our 300th anniversary. And I'll keep one. I'll frame it and put it on the wall here in the house. But that is so exciting. I cannot wait for that. Oh, man. All right, we're approaching the end of the show, but let me squeeze in another call or two before we end. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Jim from New York. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Jim. Good. How are you?
Doing well. I'll be quick. I'm actually down in Pompano for a couple of days.
Awesome.
Wings Plus was last night. William Youngerman's will be in about an hour.
Awesome.
So,
making the whole tour.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Making the tour, exactly.
Yes.
And,
do you need tires while you're here? You want to stop by Friendly Tire? You need some tires?
You know what? I did that a few years ago. We flew in this time.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, but hey, great show.
Are you in pain? You could stop by Dr. Appleton's and get rid of your pain while you're here. Anyway, what's on?
I'm trying to get my wife to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my wife to do that because she has knee pain.
Oh no! You got to go see Dr. Appleton, and your wife can say bye-bye to her knee pain like I did. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
He's open on Saturday. All right. So what's on your mind?
No, well, a great show as always.
Thank you.
I always call it topics. I just want to tell you I'm here and patronizing while I'm in town. So.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, great show.
Oh, you just called to tell me it's a great show. Well, I will agree with you on that. It's a great show.
It always is.
All right, take care. Take care. Oh my goodness, he's doing the whole sponsor run. Oh my goodness. But I do want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. Right now, I'm not going to tell you who this is but right now a friend of mine is having surgery. They went and had a scan and found out they got blockage, and they're having surgery right now as we speak. I texted them right before I went on the air. It was right before, and they texted me back right before they went in for the surgery. I tell you, and they have major blockage. It's being fixed now. They're in surgery. I don't know how long the surgery goes for. But they told me they go to the gym every day. They had no symptoms. Their blood pressure was fine. And they were in shock at how much blockage they had. Yeah, I know. It's amazing to me how many people they not only lead a normal life without any symptoms when they have all these heart conditions and blockage and such, but they work out. And they don't know. That's why I guess you hear so many people dropping dead at the gym from heart attacks. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan. and you will be connected in seconds. All right, well, we're about out of time for the day, but a couple of things I want to mention here at the end. Number one, there has been, if you've noticed in the past 2.5 months, there has been a major change in this country from the Trump administration with people being brought to justice. I talked about a lot of it today, right? These financial crimes with E. Jean Carroll, Hassan Piker, and all that, Antifa, the Somali pirates. Don't you see what's happening now? And everything we wanted President Trump to do in the second term not only is happening, it's happening fast, right? It is happening fast. That's one thing that's very important to appreciate, because a lot of people say, oh, nothing's happening. No, there's a lot of arrest. And I saw Nick Shirley yesterday, who is on the inside of all of this. And his sources are telling him that Ilhan Omar is in meltdown mode. And she is, I'm telling you, she is freaking out. And that's according to Nick Shirley, who's in the know. So see what an obstructionist Pam Bondi was? All right, we've got 60 seconds left. I'll try one, maybe two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian Trickachet. How you doing?
All right, what's up?
Hey, I just got one question that's been confusing me with this total different what you're talking about, or at least I think that is.
We've got about 40 seconds, so we got to be quick.
Okay, the fund that President Trump has put up to repay all the J6s, and they're all so against. Didn't he get this money from a win?
Yes, it's the president's money. It's the president's money. It's his settlement from the IRS. It's his money.
That's what I thought. So
not the government's money.
So how can they block?
Because
how can they block it?
Well, that's why they're being primaried out. They can't. It's his money. It's not the government's money. It's his money from the settlement. He's saying, all right, we're out of time, but I appreciate the call. The rest of you on hold, stand by. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. And if you're on hold, you'll be first in line Monday. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. See you Monday, 6 a.m. All right, we're clear. Hey, guys, before you go, please do me the favor of liking the video. And I will be here all weekend long podcasting and streaming a lot. I only got to like 5% of my show prep today, and I got a lot to cover. So I'll be around all weekend long. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell so you know when I go live. And before you go, please like the video. Remember, guys, when you like the video, you're a part of my marketing and promotions team, because when you like the video, YouTube recommends the video to people that have not yet found the channel, okay? So please like the video. That helps a lot. You have no idea. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.